Okay, next for the angle between vector. Angle between vector means that you will have two vector, vector u and v, is either in terms of 2 dimension or 3 dimension. The theta is angle between them. So let's say this is our vector u and this is our vector v. So angle between the vector u and v is this value of theta. So let's say this is your u and this is your v. So angle between u and v is this theta. So the movement for the theta is either from u to v or from v to u. So this is the formula for the angle by using dot product. Cos theta is equal to u dot v divided with magnitude u multiply with magnitude v. So the value of theta will become cos inverse of u dot v divided with magnitude u multiply magnitude v. So let's refer for this example. Find the angle between vector A and vector B. So formula is cos theta is equal to u dot v divided with magnitude u multiply magnitude v. So if you are given vector A, so u will become A, vector B for the v. So therefore u dot v is vector A dot vector B is equal to 1 negative 1 4 dot with 2 5 3. So the answer will become 1 multiply 2 plus negative 1 multiply 5 plus 4 multiply 3. So the dot product for A dot B is equal to 9. So now you have to find the value for magnitude u and magnitude v, whereby you have to find magnitude for A and magnitude for B. So magnitude of A means that the square root of 1 square plus negative 1 square plus 4 square. So this one will become root of 18. Magnitude for vector B is the square root of 2 square plus 5 square plus 3 square. So square root of 38. So therefore theta is equal to cos inverse of u dot v, whereby u dot v is A dot B 9 divided with square root 18 multiply with the square root 38. So by using calculator, cos inverse of 9 divided with square root of 18 square root of 38 will become 69.87 degree. So this is the answer for the angle between vector A and vector B. Let us continue for the next example. Determine the value of z if the cosine of the angle between vector u and vector v is equal to negative 1 over 3. So it's mentioned here cosine of the angle is equal to negative 1 over 3. So your formula is cos theta is equal to u dot v divided with magnitude u multiply magnitude v. So cosine of the angle is equal to negative 1 over 3. So this one means that cos theta is equal to negative 1 over 3. So the value of cos theta is equal to negative 1 over 3 means that this cos theta is equal to negative 1 over 3. So negative 1 over 3 is equal to u dot v divided with magnitude u magnitude v. So we have to find the u dot v, magnitude u and magnitude v. U dot v is equal to vector u is 2 negative 2 1 2 negative 2 1 dot with vector v 4j plus zk. So x is equal to 0 4 z. So apply the dot product. 2 multiply 0 plus negative 2 multiply 4 plus 1 multiply z. So simplify. 2 multiply 0, 0. Negative 2 multiply 4, negative 8. 1 multiply z plus z. So this is the answer for the u dot v. And then we need to find the magnitude of u. So our vector u is 2, negative 2, 1. 2 square, negative 2 square plus 1 square. Square root of 9 is equal to 3. Magnitude of v, 0 for z. 0 square, 4 square plus z square. So simplify, becomes 16 over z square. Okay, so 16 over z square is not the same thing as 4 plus z. Okay, so this is wrong. Because you have 16 plus z square and then the whole thing is square root. It's not the same thing as square root of 16, 4, square root of z square, z. Okay, no, this is wrong. Okay, so now we will apply all the value that we obtain here. We have u dot v, magnitude u, and magnitude v. Substitute into the formula here. So therefore, negative 1 over 3 is equal to u dot v will become negative 8 plus z. Divide with u magnitude u. Magnitude u is 3. Multiply with 16 plus z square. So now simplify. We want to find what is the value of z here. So the denominator here bring to the upper side will become multiply. Negative 1 over 3 multiply 3 multiply 16 over z square is equal to negative 8 plus z. Negative 1 over 3 multiply 3, so we can cancel out the negative. So we will have negative 16 plus z square. Negative 8 plus z. So this negative here, you cannot multiply inside. Okay, because we have the square root here. So this negative, we move to the right hand side. So the whole thing on the right hand side will be multiplied with negative sign. So this negative 8 will become positive 8. The z here will become negative z. So the right hand side will become 16 plus z square is equal to 8 minus z. Okay, negative 8 multiply negative will become positive 8. Positive z multiply negative will become negative z. So now we want to eliminate the square root here by apply square for both sides. So for the left hand side, the square root and square here means that we can cancel out the square root. So the left hand side will become 16 plus z square is equal to 8 minus z here, we have to expand. 8 minus z, 8 minus z. 16 plus z square is equal to 8 multiply 8 will become 64 minus 8z minus 8z plus z square. So negative 8z minus 8z will become negative 16z. So now it's either you want to move the left hand side to the right hand side or the right hand side to the left hand side. So I will move the left hand side to the right hand side. 64 minus 16z plus z square minus 16 minus z square is equal to 0. So move 16 to the right hand side will become negative 16. Positive z square will become negative z square. So the z square here we can cancel out. So 64 minus 16 48 minus 16z is equal to 0. So therefore z is equal to 48 bring to the right hand side, negative 48 divide negative 16. So z is equal to 3. So this is the value for z. So let us continue to solve for the angle between vector. So this one by using formula for the cross product. So formula for the angle by using cross product is sine theta is equal to u cross with v divide with magnitude u multiply with magnitude v. So if the question asks you to find the angle between vector, so you can solve by using formula sine theta or formula for the cos theta. Okay, so it depends either you want to solve by using which formula. Okay, you are given vector u and vector v. Find the angle between u and v. So this question we will solve by using the formula for the cross product. So first we need to find u cross v. U cross v is equal to, so we arrange u at the front, so u will be at the first row. Second row is vector v, 1, negative 1, negative 2. So remember that the first column positive, negative, positive, I, j, k. So therefore, close the first column, you will have negative 1 multiply negative 2 minus 1 multiply negative 1. Negative 1, negative 2 minus 1, negative 1. So this is for I. Minus, close for the second column, 2 multiply negative 2, 1 multiply 1. So this is for the j, plus, close for the third column, 2 multiply negative 1 minus negative 1 multiply 1. So this is for k. So simplify for the first bracket. So this is 3i minus negative 5j plus negative 1k. So simplify more the notation for the negative sign. 3, 5, negative 1. So this is the answer for u cross with v. Formula for the sine theta is magnitude for the u cross v. So means that from the cross vector that we obtain here, we need to find the magnitude. So therefore, magnitude for u cross v is equal to 3 square plus 5 square plus negative 1 square. Square root of 35. Divide with magnitude u multiply with magnitude v. So we need to find magnitude u and magnitude v. So magnitude u is 2 square plus negative 1 square plus 1 square. Square root of 6. Magnitude v is equal to 1 square plus negative 1 square plus negative 2 square. So the same thing, the answer is square root of 6. So now apply the formula. Sine theta is equal to magnitude u cross v divide magnitude u multiply magnitude v. So theta is equal to sine inverse u cross v, magnitude of u cross v, square root of 35 divide with square root of 6 multiply square root of 6. So the answer will become 80.41 degree. So this is the angle between vector u and v, whereby we are using the formula of cross product. But if you are using the formula for the dot product, you also will obtain the same value of angle here. Next example, you are given vector p I plus alpha j, vector q beta I minus 8j, and vector r for I plus 5j. So we will assume this is a two-dimensional vector because we have I and j, where alpha and beta are constant. Find the value of the constant alpha given that P and R are parallel. Okay, so if the vector are parallel, is either you want to solve by using U cross V is equal to 0, or refer back to the first note. You have U is equal to lambda V. If the value of the lambda is equal, means that the vector is parallel. Find the value of the constant beta given that Q and R are perpendicular. Perpendicular is U dot V is equal to 0. So now we will find the value of alpha such that P and R are parallel. So vector P is equal to 1 alpha. Vector R is equal to 4, 5. So I will use the first method here. Vector U is equal to lambda V. Okay, so we will arrange P on the left hand side. 1 alpha is equal to lambda 4, 5. If the lambda is equal, means that the vector are parallel. So now we want to find the value of alpha such that the lambda is equal. So 1 is equal to 4 lambda. Alpha is equal to 5 lambda. So lambda is equal to 1 over 4. Alpha is equal to 5 multiply 1 over 4. So alpha is equal to 5 over 4. So by using first technique, vector U is equal to lambda V, we obtain the alpha is equal to 5 over 4. So now we will use the second technique, vector U cross vector V is equal to 0. U cross V is equal to 0. So U we will choose vector P and V we will choose vector R. So P cross R is equal to, we will arrange vector P as the first row, 1 alpha, vector R 4, 5. So remember that the first column positive, negative, I, J. So U cross V is equal to 0, means that P cross R is equal to 0. 1 multiply 5 minus 4 multiply alpha. So 0 is equal to 5 minus 4 alpha. So negative 5 is equal to negative 4 alpha. Therefore alpha is equal to 5 over 4. So you will obtain the same value of alpha is either you solve by using formula U is equal to lambda V or U cross V is equal to 0. Now for the example B here, find the value of constant beta if vector Q and R are perpendicular. So you will only have one properties if the vector are perpendicular, so that U dot V is equal to 0. So Q and R, vector Q dot vector R is equal to 0. So vector Q is equal to beta negative 8. Beta negative 8 dot with R. R is 4, 5 equal to 0. So apply dot product for the left hand side. Beta multiply 4, 4 beta. Negative 8 multiply 5, negative 40 is equal to 0. So beta is equal to 40 divided with 4. Beta is equal to 10. So this is the value for beta such that Q and R are perpendicular. For the exercise here, you can try by your own.